Hi, this is Diane Pershing. I'm the voice of Poison Ivy in Batman the Animated Series, and I'm lucky enough to have been interviewed by Amber, the fangirl. That's Amber Jones, who is a delight. So please pay attention. Watch this thing.
Hi guys, Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. It's my birthday today, so this is a birthday special. And well, I got my snowball microphone. You can't really see it, but it's here. I got that new today. But that is not the only birthday gift I got. The birthday gift, the best one I've had, the best present I've had today, is that I get to interview someone on my birthday. And who do I get to interview? Well, my guest is the voice of Poison Ivy in Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures, Static Shock, Justice League, Unlimited, or no, it was definitely the original Justice League, Gotham Girls, the web series, Batman Vengeance, the video game. I have it. And the Batman and Robin Sega CD video game as well that was released with the exclusive voice lines and stuff like that. She's also voiced Dale Arden for Filmation's Flash Gordon, Nessie in Gallivants, which is
It's Nessa.
Nessa, sorry, I do apologize.
Yes, that's okay.
Who in it with Frank Welker and Peter Cullen, who were also credited in it.
Absolutely.
That's so
I know.
cool.
I
I know,
know.
they're great. Okay, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Dynak X in
Dynak
Defenders
X,
Dynak
right.
X in
Right. She
Defenders
was
of
the
the
computer voice, right? Yeah.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah.
Crystal
Yeah.
Kane in The Centurions. And
Right.
she's also been in cartoons such as Goof Troop, The Legend of Prince Valiant, Denver the Last Dinosaur, She-Ra, Princess of Power, The Smurfs, Darkwing Duck, Rugrats, and more. My guest is literally on my list of dream guests. My guest is Diane Pershing.
Hi.
It's Diane Pershing. Hi.
It's me. It's me.
Hi.
Much
Oh
too
my
much fuss, but okay.
Sorry, I'm known for
I know.
talking fast, and it's just I've got to slow down a little bit. Yeah, so if I do talk fast, feel free to let me know, and I can try and slow down a little
I
bit.
will let you know if I don't understand. Otherwise, talking fast is just fine.
Oh my gosh! So, Diane, I've had a Batman obsession since I met Kevin Conroy in Telford last year. Um, so that's what got me started on the whole Batman franchise. So I don't have a lot of merch. I have, of course, the Vengeance video game, and I literally have I have a VHS tape of the show that I got for my birthday as well.
Lovely.
It's got Harley and Ivy on it as the first episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so it did that. And I actually no, I know, right? This is actually gonna be pretty cool because I know a lot. I know she's not really like on social media, but I also, like you, I know Arlene Sorkin, actually.
How do you know Arlene?
Well, I reached out through her son. We got talking on Instagram and stuff like that. And then he was like, I'm more than happy to pass on a message. Because initially I was, nervous to do so because I'm not sure if like she wanted to be like bothered by fans. So I was like, if you can't, that's completely okay. And then he said she wants to let you know that you made her day. She loves talking to her fans, and she sent me a little voicemail of her saying, "Hey Amber, keep up the voice acting. You're doing such a great job. That's all, pudding. Bye."
Wow. When was that?
August last year.
Okay. She's quite ill. I think you
I
know
know.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bravo.
yeah.
That's so great. Oh, it's good to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
I know, yeah.
Wonderful.
I didn't realize like people like she was ill until people told me. So that's why I was really nervous and like I was like, oh, what do I do and stuff. But it was really lovely to get that little message from her. And
She's a lovely, lovely human being. She's a gem of a human being. She really is. She's wonderful.
oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that because, of course,
Oh, yeah.
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are technically friends in the Batman universe. I mean, you've done.
They are. They are. Yeah. Yeah. I don't do the voice anymore, and nor does
Oh,
Arlene, obviously. But
mm,
the friendship and whatever else it's become has kind of blossomed, and it's fascinating. It's great.
yeah, it is indeed. Yeah. When
Yeah.
did you? When
Yeah.
may I ask? When did you last talk to Arlene? Because I haven't heard.
It's been about a year because I tried
Ah.
to see her. I moved last
Oh
January, not this past one,
yeah,
right? I moved from
yeah.
Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., which
Washington
is where I am
D.C.
now. And right before I left, I was able to visit her and say goodbye because I had been
Oh,
visiting her fairly regularly at that point. So yeah, no, I haven't really since. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, bless. Well, I messaged her someone a few hours ago saying I'm talking to Diane Pershing now. I'll ask her to say hi or something like that. So just to say that,
Okay,
yeah, just a
wonderful.
little connection to say that you both say hi to each other.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, she's really lovely, and you're lovely as well, Diane. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you
Well,
for allowing me to talk to you.
well, I'm just a working actor. That's all I am. I'm not, I mean, I love what I do, and I know think I did a fine job on The Voice, but I've had so many different voice jobs, 45 years or so doing this.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
it's the nice thing about doing voiceovers for me is that,
Oh yeah.
you don't have to worry about being on camera, how you look, if you gained weight, if you had a bad night, you don't have to worry about that. It's just your voice that they want, and your acting chops, obviously. So
Yeah.
I don't consider myself famous or that important. I love what I do, and I've been very blessed. I've made my living doing this, raised two children doing this, so it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, and you've got two children, haven't you? And you've got
I have
grandchildren as
two
well.
children and grandchildren, right? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and
I have
have they seen Batman the animated
Oh, it's
series?
a wonderful story.
Oh,
My granddaughter Isabel, when she's 11 now, when she was about 4, I showed her. I started doing the cons about 6 or 7 years ago, going to the Comic Cons.
was it on that? Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was that recent.
Oh, it's that recent because I had no idea that anybody wanted to hear from me. I just didn't know.
Oh,
Somebody told me I had a fan base, and I said, "Are you putting me on?" And then I investigated, and then I called my manager, Celebworks. I mean, the people that became my managers, and then they started sending me on the road with the Comic Cons, and all of a sudden, it's like a whole new world. But I had shown Isabel. I think it was Pretty Poison, the first episode
yeah,
that she did. And
with
Isabel, I
Harvey
think,
Dent too.
yes, with Harvey Dent with the famous kiss.
Richard
And
Mole. Yeah.
yes, yes. And I showed her the thing, and she looked at me and she went, "Grandma, she's not very nice, is she?" And I said, "No, darling, she's not." And I had the best time playing her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, kids, they're just so precious. I have a 4-year-old nephew and I have a niece that's due literally anytime soon. The due date is this week.
Great,
So I
great.
just like to show them Batman the animated series when my nephew's a little bit older and when my niece is a bit
Yeah,
older.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, just it's just so great showing them everything from the past. And if your children are grown up now, so they
Oh,
must have
very much
grown
so.
up
Yeah.
in the generation of Batman the animated series. So
Yeah, I guess, let me see, we started recording it what, 30 years ago, 20,
yeah,
so that was,
30, yeah, 30, yeah.
yeah, it's 31 years old now. This is 24. So what was that, 1992, something like that?
1992, that was the 30th
Right.
anniversary.
Then my children were in college by then. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand. So I
Yes.
want to take it all the way back, Diane, like all the way back to the beginning. Excuse the pen, it's my art pen, and just
I don't
I
have
have a
any
tendency,
problem with you
I have a
using
tendency to
whatever you'd like.
fidget.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I'd like to go all the way back to the beginning.
Of
How did you
what?
get oh, your career, like your voiceover as in
Oh,
acting,
oh,
maybe? Wait, have you
oh,
just
oh.
done voiceover, or have you done
No,
on
no,
camera
no.
stuff?
I've done,
Oh,
well, no, I've done a lot of theater.
oh,
And
okay.
a lot of theater, yeah. And I
Uh-huh.
love, that was my first love. Also, I'm a singer, so I did a lot of work as a singer, backup singer, mostly for nightclub acts and stuff like that, little TV, stuff like that. Yeah. How did I get started? Period. I looked in the mirror when I was 4 years old and said, I'm going to be an actress when I grow up. And I never, ever deviated from it, ever. That's what I can tell you. And then I was lucky enough to get a job right out. I majored in theater arts at UCLA,
Mm-hmm.
and then right out of college, I got my first professional job as a backup singer on the road. So, and
Wow.
then the voiceovers just happened because somebody happened to hear me speaking and said, "Have you ever done voiceovers?" And I said, "Not really." And they said, "Come see me." And I went and talked to him, and I got a job right away, and I sort of took off and never stopped. And I continue doing theater, equity waiver theater in Los Angeles, you know, on the weekends and nights and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But this has been how I've supported myself. Yeah.
Wow. And how did you get the role of Poison Ivy in Batman the Animated Series?
Total serendipity, total timing that I have nothing to do with. Yeah, I was hired to do a smaller role in that particular episode. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently, the producers and the writers had decided that the actress that they had hired to do Poison Ivy wasn't quite right. So, Andrea Romano, whom I had worked for before, said to me, "Do you want to
Oh,
audition
thank
for
God.
this?" And I said, "Of course, you know." And I looked at the cell that they showed me, the character, and I thought to myself, oh, yeah, I can do this. Because I did a lot of cosmetic kind of, you know, these kinds of commercials, you know, where you use that voice. I had done a lot of that. And I said, she, that's her voice, but she also is a PhD. So she's very smart. So you add a little touch of that into the beautiful. You have her speak like this, but you also add a little extra thing that lets the people know that there is a brain
Oh my
there.
gosh.
And I got the job and I did it, and the rest is whatever they say, history.
I
Yeah,
know, yeah, because there's
yeah.
so many good episodes. I mean, you've got Harley and Ivy, a good one. House and Garden is one I don't see
Well, it's
people
my
talk
favorite,
about.
right? Yeah.
Is it? Is
Oh yeah,
it?
well, it because it's really the writers honored me by writing a script that let me really use my acting chops. You
Wow.
know, mostly it was, you know, it was wonderful. It was she's seductive, plus she's evil, plus she's seductive, plus she's this, she's that. But in that one, I got to actually show the softer side of her had she been a little different or a little less obsessed with plant life, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And you've also got, oh, let me have a look. Yeah, Eternal Youth, almost got him.
Yeah,
Joker's Trial, which has the most villains out of all the
all of them.
episodes.
Right,
I
right,
know,
right.
and I'm
I
gonna bring that
know.
up again in a minute because I want to
Okay.
talk about that specific episode.
But
And then
I might not remember details because do remember now it's 31 years
yeah,
ago and I've been doing voiceovers since then.
yeah.
So I have 1,000 jobs or whatever it is in between. So if I don't remember a detail, please forgive me.
Oh, that's okay. When I do episodes with people, I don't like go into specific details about the episode because I know they might not remember them. I just talk about the people who were in the episode.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and of course, oh yes, because you did Gotham Girls as well. That little web series. I love that web series. I mean,
We
you've
had
got
such a good time doing
my
that.
birthday twin, Tara Strong. I share my birthday with her. She was Batgirl.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, she did that, and also you've appeared in Static Shock. You were in a one-off episode, Hard as Nails, and then you did the alternative version of Poison Ivy in Justice League series.
Okay, yeah.
This was all this is gonna make you feel a bit weird, but this was all literally before I was born. All this aired before I was
Of
born.
course.
I'm
Yes.
19 now, so
No, are you really 19 and you've put all this kind of thing together?
yeah,
That's
I've been.
wonderful.
Thank you. I've been doing
Yeah.
this since I was like 17, the interviewing stuff. So
Okay.
it's been quite fun and just to talk to people from
Yeah.
different like franchises, especially like voiceover, because I'm a voice actress myself. I mean, I've done a few things. My biggest job being for a theme park ride in California. So I did
Okay.
that. So
Do you have are you able to speak outside of your natural accent?
yes, I can. I had to do for that theme park ride. I had to do an RP English accent, a Scottish accent, and two American
Scottish?
accents.
Two
Yeah,
Americans. Okay, yeah. Wonderful.
yeah. So that was quite fun. So the trial episode, of course, there is. I'm looking at the picture now. Tons of villains now. Of course, you've got Ventriloquist and Scarface, Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, Two Face, Poison Ivy, of course, and Harley Quinn and the Joker. So like, so that's all legends you're working with. So like Mark Hamill, Roddy McDowell, Arlene Sorkin, of course, as mentioned before. So what was it like? So do you remember working on the episode Trial at all, like with everyone?
I remember mostly the room where we recorded, and back then we, as you know, probably recorded ensemble instead of
Yeah.
piecemeal like they do now.
Yeah.
And I remember where my microphone was, and
Yeah.
the music stand and the script in front of it, and my microphone here.
Yeah.
And to my right, this was a lot of different recording sessions, was
Yeah.
Mark Hamill.
Wow.
And to my left was Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., who played Alfred, and
Alfred.
whom I remember from being very young and from his television show, 77 Sunset Strip, which was huge at the time.
Wow.
So
And
I was
yeah.
standing between two icons, and it was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, he did the FBI as well. People say,
oh
oh,
yeah, he did that later. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. I
Yeah.
talked to Phil
Yeah.
Lamar, who was Virgil Hawkins Static in Static Shock. And he was
Okay.
like, he walked in and saw Alfred because they were in the same episode. He's like, oh my God, that's the guy from the FBI. I think it's his mum who said that. I'm like,
Isn't that funny?
I
Isn't that
know.
funny? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been so cool. Like to live such an experience as yours must have been probably the greatest thing ever. And Andrea Romano was obviously known for making actors. Like she let them record in an ensemble together. And I tell you another thing as well. She has a good pair of cat headphones. She has the exact same pair as I do.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes. Uh-huh.
wait, have you seen the photo?
The photo? No, which one?
Oh, she sent me a photo of her wearing these cat headphones because I met her during the GalaxyCon. You know the Batman panel you did last year with her and
Yes.
Lauren. I
Yes.
got a I bought a video chat with her and I wore these yellow cat headphones and she loved them so much. She emailed me to say that she bought a pair of her own.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? For some reason, I remember seeing some kind of picture like that, but I don't remember where.
It was
Yeah.
probably on my Facebook because I put it on my
Okay,
Facebook.
probably was. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like Andrea's like inspired me and now I'm literally inspiring her and I'm like,
Isn't that
whoa, okay,
nice?
this is
Wow. That's so
okay.
great.
Try not to scream because this was like this. She's so great, and of course, okay, all right. That. I'm just gonna ask you this: what was it like to be voice directed by her? What was it like to work with her on like all these DC animated projects? Because she voice directed all of them, didn't she?
Yeah. What was it like? Sheer joy. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
directors are not as access. She's very firm in what she wants, but she gives you a lot of freedom to experiment.
Yeah.
And she's also very businesslike. There's no kissing up and cooey cooey, and there's no, she smiles, she's great, but she goes right, she's very efficient. And I always felt safe with her. You don't always feel safe with
Yeah.
directors. Yeah.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Yeah, I think she's retired now and she like moved to Brazil or
She's
something.
retired, but I don't know. I don't know if she'll stay retired. She was having some kind of eye problems, and that was one of the reasons that nothing major, but just it affected her ability to look at the cartoon.
Oh, right.
So, but I think that that's been fixed or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Ah.
She's traveling a lot with her husband. That I can tell you.
Yeah, she was in LA a few weeks ago because she told me because I had plans because we were plans to meet up because I was planning on going to LA this spring, but of course there's been problems with my passport arriving. It's still not here. I've been waiting months, so I've had
Oh,
to push it to
oh,
next year.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
next.
Yeah.
This is also tying in with this theme park ride that I've done. It's opening next year, so I'm going for the opening
Okay.
of that, and I'll be seeing everyone. And yeah, that's when I'm going. That is when I'm going.
Okay. Great.
And speaking of traveling,
Yes.
have you ever been to England? And
Oh,
if not,
yes.
would you?
No,
You've
I've
been?
been. Oh, yeah, twice.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. I love England.
Oh.
My son did his junior year abroad. That's they do that a lot in America in colleges. And I went over there for a full week there. No, I actually went
Wow.
another twice. I've been there 3 times. And I walked. What I would do is while he was at school during the day, I would walk a different area of London, just to get to know it. I just picked it out on a map, and then
Yeah.
at night we would meet for dinner and go to the theater.
That is
And
so cool.
it was the best visit to London, and other times too. Yeah, it's a wonderful place. I mean, and what I haven't done is seen the countryside, and I regret that. I just was sort of in London, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of
Yeah.
places. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Liverpool, the Beatles. You should
Yes.
definitely come up to Liverpool.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, I was there when the Beatles came, you know. So yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh.
Oh
That
yeah.
is so cool. Right. This is a bit of a silly question, but if you were asked to do a UK convention, would you go?
Of course, I would go if I were asked. That would mean they would pay for the plane fare in my hotel.
That's what they did for Telford Comic Con, and Telford
That's
Comic
it.
Con mainly invite voice actors. So that's how I met Kevin Conroy and Will
I
Friedle.
know. I know.
Michael Rosenbaum's going, and Tara's going this May. So it's
Yes, they the thing is, I'm just being very honest with you about my career. I'm really well known for Poison Ivy, but those other actors you just talked about, they are known for multiple different roles. So they are a bigger draw. They have a bigger audience draw. I'm really, I mean, I did a lot of cartoons, but
yeah.
I haven't really in a long time done any cartoons. So I am known for that one thing. So if you are a Batman the Animated Series fan, you will want to come and see me.
Oh, there is
But
a lot.
somebody like Tara and they have 5, 6, 7 iconic roles that will bring in
Yeah.
the crowds. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say one role. I mean, Kevin was known for well,
Well,
he
yeah,
was mainly known for Batman,
but he was in every episode, and I was one of the villains. We had rotating villains, so I
yeah.
was in every sixth or seventh episode.
Ah, right.
See
I
how that
see.
worked? Yeah, and
Yeah.
some ensemble ones too, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And they have had Celebworks guests because they had a ton just in December. So honestly,
Yes,
like I'm gonna
it isn't about celeb works. It's the client. Are they big
yeah,
enough to bring in the crowds? That's just business.
yeah.
So I have, but I go wherever I'm asked.
Well,
Always
fingers
do.
crossed.
You
Fingers
never know.
crossed
You
that you
never
do an
know.
England conversion.
Yeah.
It'd be lovely to meet you,
Yeah.
definitely in person. Um, so speaking of Kevin Conroy, of course,
Yes.
I've got to ask, what was it like to really work with him? Because like everybody else, I admired him deeply, and of course you did as well because you've worked with him on so many projects. And I remember because he did a convention in July, and then a few days later it was this Batman stream, and he wasn't there. I was like, what? Where is he? He's probably just busy. And then they said he cancelled due to uncontrollable circumstances, and that's when Andrea told me he was ill. I was like, okay, this is worrying. Um, so what was it like really to work with him, and just really just how did his how did this passing make you feel? Like, of
Well,
course, like
first of all, while we were doing the series, I didn't really get to know him that well. We don't hang, with a voiceover job, you do your work, you speak the words into a microphone. They say, take, do another take, then I pick up lines, whatever, and then you go home. That's what
yeah.
voiceovers are. So we didn't hang at all when we were recording. When I got to know Kevin fairly well, was when I started doing the Comic Cons.
Mhm.
And we would all meet in the green room and hang out and laugh. And many of us would go out to dinner. Sometimes we'd sit at the airport for 2 hours waiting for a flight. And that's when I got to know Kevin better. He and I had dinner at the airport 2 or 3 times, good,
Wow.
intense discussions about theater and um, just wonderful stuff. He was a very private man. um yeah, he was, I mean, he was a darling man, but he didn't talk about himself that much. He was one of those people that kept things to himself, which was great. We all did notice that last year that he was looking ill. That was it. We knew he was ill because you could tell from his pallor. He was pale and he'd lost weight.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the kind of thing where you would ask him
Yeah.
about it, So, but I was shocked. In fact, I was almost shocked at how large a reaction I had to his death. Um, I mean, at my age, I've seen a lot of death. And there's a lot of death in showbiz. A lot of people that I worked with over the years, and this one died, and that one died, and oh my God, way too young, and all that stuff. he just really he touched me deeply. The fact of his passing touched me deeply. Yeah, I was pretty sad for several days. Yeah. I hope that
Um,
answers your question. Yeah.
yeah, that really did. And I mean, it's I think it's good to talk about like everyone, like, people who've done the Batman like franchise cartoons, like how important their friendship with Kevin was, whether it be working on the cartoons themselves or doing the Comic Con circuits, like you said.
Right.
So I'm very happy that you managed to get closer to Kevin during the Comic Con
Yes.
stuff.
So am
Um,
I. Very
I'm
much so.
happy you
Yeah.
got cherish those memories, cherish
I
those
do.
airport dinners, cherish
Yeah.
those panels.
I
Yeah,
do.
I
Yeah.
just one thing I regret not doing is spending more time with him in Telford because I was only there for one day, and that was the day he was not doing the panel. He did the panel the day after, and his
Uh
queue was so long. I mean, David Tennant was there, and Kevin's
wow.
queue was longer than David's.
I
I was like,
love David Tennant. Oh boy, do I love him.
he
What
was
an
there.
actor. Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they've had him quite a few times, and so I was like, okay, but then I actually had a fallout with someone the day before, so I was like, I'll just get a Batman photo up to cheer myself up, and I'm glad I did. I thank my lucky stars I made that choice because like I met them at photo op and I did art for Kevin and Will was like, have you seen her art? It's really good. And he was like, oh, I'm like, yes. And I can't remember well because it was very quick, but I think I gave him a hug, gave them both a hug, and then we had the photos taken. And then like I was gonna go to his table once it had quietened down. It had quietened down. I went and he'd already gone 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And I was at the time I wasn't that upset because I thought, oh, it's all right, I'll be able to meet him again if he comes back over. And he had plans to come back over this year. And yeah, that's like
We wish we could keep the special people forever, but it isn't how life works.
I know, it's very sad. It is. It had me crying really, because just in the days after his death, I couldn't watch Batman. I couldn't watch anything Batman related because it just hurt so much. I would just burst into tears. And like I'd been binge watching the Intanimate. I was gonna say entire anime, and I said Intaminated. I was like, sorry. I had been binge watching the original Batman, the animated series,
Hmm.
just like because I was having such a bad time at college with my anxiety and just depression, like just workloads.
Hmm.
Batman the animated series was my escape from reality, from the
You know,
real world.
a lot of people at the cons would say that to me. I was astonishing. I was astonished at the people would walk up to me and would say, "You were my childhood. You were what I did when I came home from school to an empty house, and we watched this, and you were this. You taught me this lesson. You this, you that. You know." And I always think we go into a room and we speak words into a microphone, and hopefully we use our equipment, our artistry, our creativity, whatever it is, and we do our job, and we're glad I love doing voiceovers. I just adore it. I mean, it's just too much fun for words. And then we get our paycheck and we're really happy, but we have no idea how that product that we just put together affects others and their lives. We have no idea. So when you go to the cons, you hear it. I'm not talking about fan stuff, on social media. I'm talking about in person, people wanting to chat with you and tell you how much your voice or your that character meant to them, and so on. And really, it's pretty astonishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I remember you saying something about a fan experience that you had at a table where I think if I remember correctly, this woman broke down crying and just
Oh,
like,
sobbing. Yeah, that she had
yeah,
been a.
just tell me about that.
Oh
I
well,
can't remember how it goes.
she'd seen the Harley and
What's your
Ivy
best
episode,
fan
right?
experience?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, that's one of my certainly several. There's several actually, funnily enough, but um, she came up into tears. This was my first con, I believe, that I'd been at, and I was
Wow.
sort of surprised at how many people came up to the table because as I said, it was I have a fan base, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So she came up the table, she's tears streaming down her face, and I said, "What's the matter? Are you okay?" And she said, "I just want you to know what it means meeting you." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "Because," she said, "when you," because she said, "I was abused in my home." Okay. I think she meant sexually. And
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure.
Or
And she
domestically,
said
maybe.
whatever, emotionally, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she said, and when when Poison Ivy tells Harley not to let Joker treat her that way, that she should stand up for herself and not, not be a doormat, okay? And that women have a right to be strong and all that. She said, I had never heard anything like that before. And it really affected me. It made me think differently. And I thought, wow. I mean, really? So,
You,
yeah,
you've
yeah.
given people so much hope and love.
And
Like,
my voice did, the character did, the writers did, the people that, draw the cartoons, they're the ones that created that character. I hopefully gave it life, you know.
yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, you've done other cartoons, like characters for different cartoons. I know you did the
Right, right,
Centurions and you did
right.
other cartoons like that. So what was it like to portray a character that either before or after Batman that wasn't Poison Ivy? So what was it like, really?
Well, they're all different. Every if you are lucky enough to get hired to do a voice on a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
you have found a voice that works for that character. And I hear it in my head before I even say it. I hear I did Pearl Pureheart on Mighty Mouse. Pearl Pureheart spoke up here. And
Oh yeah.
I got the job because I was able to talk up here like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
they speeded it up, a little bit too. But anyway, that was the voice I heard in my head, so I used it. And that was what I used for Poison Ivy. You've heard me already today do a little Poison Ivy for you. For each character, you have a voice and you do it. It's not even when you say, what was it like? What was it like? I was doing my job.
You did a lot of work for Filmation.
A lot. Yeah, I was very lucky there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You worked with like the people behind it, like Lou Scheimer. I apologize if I pronounced his name
I
wrong.
think it's Scheimer. Yeah,
Scheimer,
right,
Lou
right.
Scheimer, and Eric Scheimer. And so what was it like to what was Lou Scheimer like? What
Oh,
was it
they're
like to work
both of
with
them.
him?
He and his partner Norm were wonderful human beings. I loved working for them. And the thing was at Filmation, which is 10 years before, I think, anything I did for Batman. Um, um, if you got in their little group
Hmm.
of actors that they liked, you did all the shows. And
Yeah.
I was lucky that Linda Gary, who's passed away quite a long time ago, did a lot of the shows. And Melindy Britt did, she did that. And we
Yeah.
had Alan Oppenheimer was very big then, and but Fraley, Pat Fraley,
Pat, love Pratt, he's
yeah,
great.
yeah, I know, sure, he's wonderful. I mean, there were really good people. There was an actor that's no longer with us, Bob Ridgely, who was phenomenal. And so they kept saying, "Can you do that?" I would go, "Sure," because you always say yes. You always say yes.
Yeah, and that sounds so cool. Like you've worked for Filmation, you've worked for Warner Brothers, you've worked for Disney because you did Darkwing Duck and Goof Troop, as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a good question. If you were given the chance to return to the role of Poison Ivy for anything, whether it be a spin-off or a video game or a television show, would you?
Well, of course I would. I mean, I'm an actor. If somebody wants me to work for them, I work, and they want to pay me, I do it.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. I don't turn down work unless it's for something that I morally don't think I could do, That would be it. Only done only turned down two jobs, I think. Yeah, just because I
Wow.
didn't I didn't like what they wanted me to advertise.
Ah, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah.
I've just been reminded of that GalaxyCon reunion. You did the massive one in 2021, the massive Batman one. You did it with Kevin, Melissa Gilbert, the original Batgirl, Paul Williams, who else was
Yes.
there? John Glover. Yeah, because
Yeah,
John, yeah, you're really close to John, aren't you? Because
I
I remember
am.
you
I'm
put
good
pictures of
friends with
yourself
him.
on
Right,
Facebook.
right, right.
Yeah,
I just adore him.
Yeah,
I only got to know him at the cons again because he's one of my favorite actors ever. I've seen him do theater. He's such a brilliant actor. And when I saw that, I was literally the next table to John Glover. I went, I mean, you want fangirl, there I was. I went, you have to know that. And anyway, and I also told him at the time that we are going to be very close friends. And he went, okay, like that. All right. And we are. We are. Yeah. I've been to his house several times. He's a darling man.
Well,
Yeah.
villains always stick together. I'll tell you that.
Not always, but
Well,
this one, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, I suppose you got Harley and Joker, and well, they
yeah.
don't obviously get on in the
No,
television
no, that's right. Yeah.
show. Now this is a bit of a silly question, really. I just love to ask everyone this because of how crazy I am. Diane, what's your favorite color?
Color?
Yeah.
Probably royal blue.
Royal blue. That's a good choice. That is a really
It's
good
very
choice.
soothing.
Yeah, you're right. So is royal blue like dark or is it light or is
It's
it
medium. It's between
medium?
dark and light. Yeah. I
Royal
have
blue.
I
I'm
have
an
lots
artist.
of
I should know this.
yes, you should.
Oh
Silly
man.
you.
Oh, that's a beautiful color. That is a beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did GCSE art. I don't know how I didn't know, I guess. Wow. I always just thought that was just dark blue. And there's me just thinking simple terms for all these colors and stuff. I know, like, yeah, there's
Nothing
royal
wrong
blue.
with that. My grandson keeps asking me, "What's your favorite?" Whatever it is, and I keep saying, "I don't have a lot of favorites, and I have several things that I like a lot, but I don't tend to elevate one into the top position, that kind of thing."
Yeah, just wait till we ask you what's your favorite Batman villain. Do you already know the answer?
I wouldn't be able to answer. I think they're all wonderful. I mean,
Oh, I thought you could answer Poison Ivy. I thought
that, yes, I see.
yeah.
See, it wouldn't even occur to me. Isn't that funny? I was thinking of the men. That's wrong, Diane. Wrong, wrong. Well, my favorite is, of course, it's mine and Harley's second. Yeah,
Yeah, of course. And oh my
yeah.
gosh. Yeah, because you did, of course, I've got here Batman Vengeance, and I've just found a little page with Poison Ivy on. There she is, right
Oh
next
yeah,
to
there she
Harley.
is. Yes, she
Yep.
is. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't managed to play this yet, and I literally got it months ago. I really want to play this. I mean, they got like all the voice cast back on the TV show, and that's what I loved about it. That was what I really loved about it. So
Great.
whilst I find the credits
Well,
of
no, this is what? Batman Vengeance?
Batman Vengeance for the PlayStation 2.
I don't remember if I did that. It doesn't sound familiar.
You can't really see, but it
My
says
name is there. Then
Poison
I
Ivy,
must have done
Diane
it.
Pershing.
Then I
Yeah,
must have done it. Oh, I
yeah.
probably did. Again, who can keep track?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll stick a clip on for you. I'll tell you that. So whilst I find the clip of it, I'd like to ask you, what similarities do you think that you've got with Poison Ivy? Like, as in
As a
person,
person?
as a
You
person,
mean
maybe.
as a character?
Yeah, maybe like I mean, you might both like gardening or like like anything
Oh
like that.
no, I have absolutely nothing in common with her because she is a woman who is very, very confident of her body. I used to call her a hormonal Tinkerbell because she has that shape, with the very sexy shape and the big red
Yeah,
hair and the breasts and all that. But and so does Tinkerbell, but she's kind of cutesy. And Poison Ivy is very much a woman. I never felt that way, that much confidence, that much sass about myself. I mean, I feel fine about myself, but not over the top. And I'm very smart, so she and I have that in common. Yeah, I have a good brain. Um,
hmm
and that's just
yeah, of
genes. That's
course.
nothing to do with me. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I don't particularly love plants. I have a black thumb. So yeah,
I mean, same as me. I don't do a lot of gardening, to be fair. Like, it's mainly
yeah.
my dad does like all the gardening. I've
I
got
love people that do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't do it myself.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is from 2001.
Okay.
This is the segment Plant Food.
I know it's not enough, but...
You disappoint me, Mayor Hill. One drop of this could have cured your bellyache for good. But since you insist on trying to cheat me...
I love the graphics in this game.
Ivy.
Batman.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah, it's got like a planned creature thing.
Kill him, my darling!
And then it's like a massive boss battle or something.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I really need to play that. I really do need to play that. Yeah, I'll have to say.
I don't particularly play video games. I'm a little past
okay.
that.
That's okay.
It better
That's
be.
okay. I'll definitely take like pictures and videos when I get to the Poison Ivy part.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Indeed. Ooh, you're welcome. Oh my gosh. Okay, Diane, I've got to ask a little bit about your theatre work as well. Of course, you've done theatre. Well, yeah.
Pretty much, you know, I let me just say that Andrea cast actors who had a lot of theater background.
Did she?
She wanted, oh yes, she wanted real actors, meaning we were trained, we were disciplined, we knew what we were doing, we were professional, because you don't get that kind of training anywhere else. You just don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really like a smart move as well, because I know recently celebrities are casting like animated roles for like, you know, the marketing and stuff, but back in the day these people like Arlene Sorkin, Days of Our Lives, Mark Hamill, Star Wars, Richard Mole, Nighthawk, like these are all actors, but they put the effort into their voice roles.
That's right. By the way, I only have about 5 more minutes. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'll wrap it up now then, if that's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I nearly called you Ivy then. Sorry about that. You're welcome, Poison Ivy. So Diane, I'd like to ask you one final little question to round off this interview. Have you got any advice for people out there, either who would going into voiceover or just really just like any, you know, anything maybe Poison Ivy would like to give, like any advice, parting words maybe?
Whenever I'm asked about a career in voiceover, because people seem to think that it's, yeah, I'll earn a few bucks, I'll do some voiceovers. You know, people get a little casual about it. It seems so easy to them. There's words on a paper, you read them into a microphone, and then you go home, right? Obviously, it's not. It's just as hard as any other acting. But number one, you need fire in the belly, meaning if you don't really want it, don't even go after it, because it's going to break your heart 95% of the time. Okay, that's fact. Number two, you need discipline, you need training, you need to be responsible, not be a pain in the ass. Please forgive my language. Okay,
that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, you need to be on time, you need to be a pleasure to work with. Later on, if you're famous, you can be a diva, but in the beginning, do not go there. And then there is something completely out of your control, which is timing and or luck. And in my case, every single time I got a new, I've done about 5 careers. You know, I've written books. I've been a movie critic. I've been a disc jockey. I've done theater. I've done backup music. I've done voiceovers my whole life, all through all of those things. And every time I did something different, it was because a new opportunity presented itself to me, and I said yes. That's what my advice is.
Yay, Diane! Wow,
beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well,
hell, it's sincere. It's from the heart.
Yeah, of course it is, right from the heart. Diane, thank you so much for talking to me tonight, and it's been a pleasure to spend a little bit of my birthday with you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amber. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Oh, thank you, Diane.
You're welcome.
Oh, I am starting to tear up. I am.
Oh,
I hope you
stop.
guys Oh, well, I hope you guys at home enjoyed that as well. This has been In Conversation with ATF with the lovely Diane Pershing. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, be kind to yourself and to others. And me and Diane will see you around. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
And